Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy New Week. And we've got here right next to me, Emma Martin, who's also here on the Gold Coast. And I'm coming to you from Freedom outside of the hotel this week. And Emma and I kind of met virtually last year, wasn't it? I think it was about August, about a year ago we met, I would say. Yeah. It's about a 1 year anniversary probably today. And then you came along to the November or the Feb virtual retreat?
Yeah, it was the Feb. It took me a while to kind of go, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, cool. And so you came to the Feb retreat, and then you're now a published author of the F word. We're going to tell you about all of that this morning. But thank you so much for joining me for this interview and sharing some of your insights, because so many people are curious about keto lifestyle and what does it mean, how does it work, just it's counterintuitive in terms of it's how the system and the diet or the lifestyle works. So we're going to talk about all that today. So let me give the guys your official introduction, and then we'll get stuck into some awesome content. So Emma here struggled with yo-yo diets for her whole life until a few years ago when she found something that set her free. Assisted by a local doctor, she dropped from a size 18 in stretchy pants to a size 11 jeans in 21 weeks by making ridiculously simple changes, and has maintained it almost effortlessly ever since. This discovery made her very passionate, and she shouted the lifestyle from the rooftops. It also transformed many of the people around her. She is, by her own admission, a work in progress and still has some cheesecake to go around in the middle. She reckons that's okay. It isn't a race. This discovery was powerful enough to cause her to gather information about why what she did works, and where on earth we went so wrong as a human race. Where are we all getting sicker, fatter, and tired? Emma completed a diploma in nutrition and is an accredited keto lifestyle coach in nutrition and wellness, and helps others on their own journeys to sustainable nutrition. So now Emma has published her book, The F Word, in which she shared her amazing stories and valuable insights and guides about weight loss and challenges. All right, Emma, so let's get stuck into it. Like, people want to know, how do you never fall off another diet ever? So tell me maybe a little bit more on your background story and, how your transformation occurred. How long ago was it, by the way?
So three years ago, almost to the day, like 3 years ago, August, I discovered this thing that I thought was going to kill me. I'd been following the food pyramid. I'd been eating what I was told, with the occasional sneaky donut. But, in general, my diet was actually pretty good, but I couldn't work out why I was just getting rounder. My pants were getting tighter. I was tired. I was pretty moody, to be honest. I was a bit of a cow. I wasn't bouncing out of bed, and I didn't have the vitality that I knew I was capable of. And I was happy, but I just wasn't feeling 100%. So far, I'd been watching a friend of mine, and really skeptically, because fat kills you, right? God. Anyway, and I was watching her, and I'm like, nah, too good to be true. And because I'm a bra fitter, I see women in their natural states, and I was watching her shrink. I'm like, all right, there must be something to this. So I started researching. And what I found was that the information we'd been given was not necessarily correct, and based on pretty flawed science. So fast forward, after Googling, is keto and low carb going to kill me? I got really passionate about the science and why we got led here. What I didn't understand was that keto wasn't really a fad. It was just clean living. And it really empowered me to go, oh my God, guys, you need to hear about this. And a lot of people came along for the ride. It's been amazing watching other people
transform. Yeah. So let's talk about the main ingredient of what keto is known for, and that is fat. Tell us, why doesn't fat make us fat? Because that's what keto has proven, right?
Yeah. So really what keto is clean food. And in the 70s, for the last 50 years, we've been following a diet that spikes our blood sugar. And when you spike your blood sugar, your insulin raises. And what most people don't understand, and what I didn't understand, is that insulin is a storage hormone. It tells your body to store fat. But fat 50 years ago was made the scapegoat of what happened in the nutrition world. Is they were trying to work out why people were having heart attacks. And they did a study, but it was very flawed and it was cherry picked. And they pulled out the evidence of certain countries and left a whole lot of others out. And they blamed fat. And what happened was they introduced all these, we were told to eat processed vegetable oils and things like that, which they're processed with chemicals, and cut out all our dairy and natural fats. And natural fats is where the flavor is, and it gives the satiety. So when you eat good quality fat like butter, meat with the marbling, eggs, you get satiety and your hormones come into check. So you're not on the food hunt all the time.
Yeah. So it's about those, getting rid of the cravings that so many people get, and that comes from the sugar. Is that right?
Yeah. So sugar's in everything, right? I was so sugar addicted, Vegemite scrolls is what I lived on. I just didn't understand that bread was sugar. Like our body treats it the same way. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And within, even a week, I was making these tiny, tiny changes, and my brain lit up. I'm like, what the heck? I feel better than I felt in 20 years. People need to know about this. And I think we so believe, because of what we've been told, that fat clogs our arteries. And you can understand why people think that. It's pretty easy to imagine bacon juice, clogging all your bits. But it's actually the opposite. The sugar causes inflammation, which then forces your body into storage mode.
Yeah.
And it's that simple.
But the key is, what you're saying is to get the good fats rather than the bad ones, right?
Yeah, because the fats give you satiety. So fats activate what's called leptin, and leptin is a satiety hormone. Sugar and all forms of it actually bypass leptin.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't understand, it's energy, but what it does is, when your insulin's very, very high, and regardless of whether you're diabetic or not, it's not about diabetes. It's actually about your body going, we're going to store that sugar and we're going to stick it anywhere we can find. And it pads it, when your cells are full, it sticks it around everywhere else, exhibit A, right underneath the tummy. So with fat, good quality fats like avocados, salmon, nuts, the food nature gave us, you can keep your insulin low, and that's actually the key.
Yeah.
Skin starts to glow, and you have energy, and your joints work again. Great.
Yeah. It's awesome. A few people have said good morning and hello, guys. I can actually read comments here on my phone. So I've worked this. That was the easiest way to manage a Zoom and a live at the same time. And saying bread equals sugar. That's crazy, which it is when you think about it. So what is it that people are doing that is making them fall off many diets? Because you're on a mission to provide a solution for people never to have to be on a diet and to maintain, a healthy lifestyle. So what is it? Tell me a little bit more about that. I'm always curious. I used to be a weight loss coach as well, but I haven't been in that arena for a long time now, I think for 8 or 9 years. And, of course, things have improved and changed. And I haven't, of course, I've got my own formula of what I do, right? That seems to be working because I've had my 3 kids and I'm okay. And, I know how to keep myself the way I am. But I'm sure that a lot of people have challenges. And I know when I used to attract, and coach people around weight loss, everyone's different. So what is it that they're doing? Maybe what's a common pattern of what we do?
I think the biggest thing is that breakfast isn't actually the most important meal of the day.
I agree.
And look at you, you glow. You can see you eat really well. And the hardest thing is actually getting off that eating pattern that you've been told to eat, because we just think, oh my God, if I eat fat, I'm going to get fat and I'm going to die. That's what Google tells us. But it's so not true. When we have cereal and toast. I'm using inverted commas because, you know, it doesn't matter what cereal it is. You're spiking your blood sugar first thing in the morning. So what happens is you like, whee, and your body's like, oh, I got all this energy, hooray. And then it stores it. So it uses what it needs and it packs the rest away for later, because that's how we're wired. Like, that's how our bodies work. We're supposed to store food. And we're supposed to have a storage shed of fat on our bodies for the hard times. So firstly, I mean, what can they do? Look at your breakfast. And if you're having hidden sugars, and that unfortunately includes a lot of breads, because breads are complex sugars and treated the same, you're going to be on this crazy coaster. So something simple is to check your labels. Look for hidden sugars. Sugar goes under 80 names, over 80. Wow. And normally, so we're looking for O's. That's like glucose, maltose, all of the O's, fructose. You're going to have a blood sugar spike, and you're going to spike your insulin, and insulin is a fat storage hormone. So one of the simplest things, how I started, I replaced milk for cream in my coffee. Go figure.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm drinking it going, I'm sure I'm going to die. And, you know, my brain just lit up. I'm like, hang on a minute, what's going on? You know?
I love it. So it's, so what is, if people do like having breakfast, I have a protein shake in the morning with almond milk, some berries and things like that. That's kind of my go-to. And a couple of times a week, like I do a 500 cal day, you know, kind of the 5-2 kind of style of eating. So what are some recommendations that you would?
So ideally you want to be checking your labels. You know, that's the most important thing you can do. If there are over 5 ingredients in there, it's probably not that great for you, and your body's just going to have to deal with that and process it. So good foods, you know, like sometimes in the mornings I'll make some scrambled eggs and I'll put some beautiful herbs in there, or Greek yogurt, full fat Greek yogurt.
I love it.
How do they put sugar in yogurt? Like it baffles me. So check your labels and just have a look, and you want to be looking for hidden sugars and getting off that spike. I think, you know, other great things like chia puddings, protein shakes that aren't, you know, real carby. Now, I don't believe carbs are the devil, but if you're having high refined carbs, I mean, you have to think, what's that doing inside you?
Yeah.
So, and you're just going to be on that spike. Good quality, healthy foods as nature provided. So one of the best other tips you can do is shop the outside of the aisles.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is start on the outside.
Yeah.
If it's in a box and it has this many ingredients, it's probably not going to be very healthy.
Yeah, I agree. Amazing.
So did that answer the question?
Yeah. You're giving lots of tips that people are interacting. Actually, one of my other authors, he lost 85 kilos from 155 to 70 over a 2-year period. I'm not sure, Con, was there a particular way of eating that you followed? Let us know in the chat box.
Wow.
Let me see here. Sue's got a question. Is the combination of a boiled egg and a fresh tomato good?
Yeah, that'll work. You've got the healthy fat in the egg, and protein. Protein's really important. Not just, you know, it doesn't make you a bodybuilder. It stops you from falling over when you're 80.
Yeah.
You must preserve that muscle mass. So, you know, these eggs are these perfect little packages of healthy fat, and put a bit of butter on it. Like, your body will freaking love you, and you're not going to be on that food hunt. And then your tomato, you've got all of the nutrients and the fat working like these trucks to ship the nutrients to your cells. Really quickly, the other thing you can do, and you mentioned it earlier, is some fasting.
Yeah.
You know, we believe that fasting, you know, people have done it for centuries.
Yeah.
It's just that when they, you know, when the whoever told us to eat 5 meals a day and 800 snacks, it's like, you don't give your body a chance to rest.
Yeah.
And like, when is it going to burn your storage shed? It's not, because you're feeding. You have 2 states. You have fed and fasted.
Yeah.
You can't exist in both. So I mean, fasting for breakfast is great.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, and it does. I think it does bring more clarity and all that in our minds and all that sort of stuff. So you talk about why is there no wagon? So tell me about the wagon thing.
Yeah, and I think that we all have a phrase. I fell off the wagon.
Yeah,
All the wagon is a blip.
yeah,
But I think we are so guilt ridden. I might be speaking for myself. Oh my God, I ate a donut. Do you know the stress that causes is worse than the actual flipping donut?
I know. Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of real, like a mindset, and you would know that being a coach. But I think, I spent 20, 30 years in that guilt cycle of, oh, well, I buggered it up now. In actual fact, I fell off. Whoops. How can I stop that from happening next time? How can I troubleshoot my afternoon snack attack pantry hanging off the cupboard?
Yeah.
What am I looking for? Like if you're craving certain things, like if you're craving sweets, you probably have a magnesium deficiency. So, you can troubleshoot all those things so easily. It's exciting.
Right. Well, Con's saying here in the message that, it was all about mindset. Whatever you put in, you need to burn it and all that kind of stuff. And I guess a big aspect, do you talk a lot about mindset within your book? Like, tell us a little bit what's covered in the F word.
Yeah, mindset's really important because we've all been told that calories in equal calories out. But it's not true. It's actually like you couldn't physically burn off as many calories as you put in. Like to go and climb 200 stairs, you don't even burn a half a donut.
Yeah.
So it's the mindset of like changing mindset about what they told us is actually the biggest shift. And knowing that eat less, move more is freaking flawed. Like it's not a thing. How that did I lose 5 jean sizes without exercise? If eat less, move more is true, all eat less, move more does is make you hungrier and make you food hunt because your body's like, gosh, she's burning a lot. What if she can't catch the next meal when she goes hunting and she's not going to bring it back to the cave and she runs out of energy? How are we going to feed the family then? So I think that's the biggest mindset change, is knowing that what you've been told might not be accurate.
Yeah, just sort of question and maybe look at what's coming out and what research there is. That's not to say, I'm sure you're not saying don't move. If you
no, not at all. But don't move to burn fat.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, exactly. So you need it to as a routine, as again it helps with your mindset, your happy hormones and all that sort of stuff. But it doesn't necessarily have a direct correlation to get rid of fat and right.
And that's so true, and that's a really good point. Like we need movement so we don't fall over when we're 80. We need movement so we don't have sarcopenia, which is muscle degradation. That's why old people have a fall, because they haven't got the fast twitch muscles. So we need that. And look, don't get me wrong, it's not that I haven't moved, I just haven't gone crazy workouts. Like I walk 20 minutes a day because that's good for me. It cleans out my brain, it resets neural pathways. Do what you enjoy, but don't think you're going to get skinny working out like a crazy. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it has to be a blend of them. I always used to say, says the trifecta of wellness or health or weight loss. You got to have your nutrition, you got to have your movement, and you got to work on what's going on in your mind. All right, let me read a couple of more comments. Love all the things you guys are typing out here. Diane saying a study showed people on a diet put more calories in their diet. Survival pathway says you're starving me. Yeah. What are your thoughts on coffee from Sue?
I love coffee. Coffee's life. I'm not giving up coffee no matter what. Do you know what? That's a good point. If you love it, your body probably, I mean, we love sugar, right? Yeah. I think it's all about the amount, and I hear everything you have about coffee.
I drink black with nothing. Like,
do you?
Well, in the morning, that's my kind of thing. I have a special one, like a cappuccino. like kind of after lunch. That's kind of my treat coffee. I don't have more than two. Most of the time I'll only have the one. But yeah, I got used to this when I was on, I've done this detox a number of times, and the only coffee you could have is black with no sugar and nothing. And so I just got used to it. And actually I think it's good for me. So I'll keep going.
And you can tell if your body doesn't like a food, you can tell it reacts. So, and I think, you hit a really good point there. Moderation's great if you can moderate. Like I used to drink 4, 5, 6 coffees a day. When you have a better energy, you don't need that. And if you think about what coffee does, it can kind of sabotage the adrenals, which is a whole other kettle of fish, and that sabotages other hormones. And then you've got this massive realignment and you are on that crazy hunt. So yeah, I didn't know any of this a few years ago. It's like, I'm a different person. And I think if you can find something you can stick to and find something that's sustainable, that's got to be the key, because life is important. So is enjoying what you love. Yeah.
And you live and breathe this stuff. So this is why it's so, integral to writing the book. So if people got your book, what are the kind of things they're going to learn by reading your book?
Oh man, I don't know. I was reading it again last night. I mean, I've proofread it 100,000 times, right? But I was reading it again going, wow, that's a really cool story. So, they're going to hear that they're not alone.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that everyone else feels like they've fallen off another diet ever, but they'll learn techniques on how to, I guess, not sweat the small stuff, what little changes to make, some of the most simple, impactful things they can make for their health. And that this isn't a weight loss journey, it's a health journey, because you've got to get healthy inside to get healthy on the outside. And it takes some time, but there are some really simple tips there. And that's the most exciting thing about it, I think, Natasha.
So you wrote the book. What are the things, how do you help people? Like, they read the book, but sometimes a book is not enough. I know, because, we do help other people write books. I'm sure you would agree. If you just read my book, how far would you have gotten as compared to doing it properly? So what are the kind of other, how do you support people on this journey?
Well, I mean, firstly, your help was just integral. Like I can't thank you guys enough, because I had all this stuff in my mind and I couldn't get it out, but you gave me a format and like a system, and you have a way of being able to pull the most amazing information out of people, which is a beautiful gift you've got. And I guess, I can do that for people too, but in my own way. And, I think what we have firstly is a community.
Yeah,
a community that's passionate about, where we went wrong and why people are struggling, and teaching people just those little choices. But what I started to do was teach people and guide people personally, but also in group coaching. So you have the support of everybody else that's been there. And it's wonderful, they're sharing recipes and tips, and just to watch them all interact together, like it fills my cup so crazy.
Yeah.
Like the first few years of this journey, they were about me. To be honest, they were about me and getting healthy. But as I was writing the book, because I was like, oh my God, people need to know this stuff. Like, they need to know, because what we've been told is wrong. But to watch people start to guide others and to empower other people to look after each other in part of our coaching, oh man, like you can't put a price on that. And just individual help and laser coaching, like there's something about doing it with someone that understands you.
Yeah. I love that. And often I say it's so essential to be part of a community when you want to change your lifestyle, and to hang out with people that, going to push you and challenge you and hold you accountable until, you kind of feel like you can be on your own. Even then, so that becomes your own world, because, people generally hang out with people that are like them, right? And so if you connect with that, if you want to get certain results, just find the people who've got them and start hanging out with them and having the conversations. I know my circle of who I know and who I hang out with is completely different, as I've grown through this journey. So I'm sure you're the same as well.
Yeah, vibe attracts your tribe, doesn't it? You know, like the growth in the last 3 years of just, you know, finding me again and finding the me I'd lost, you know, like the people you hang with are so instrumental in how you feel, you know, and if people around you choose grey weather, somehow you have to, you know, find the sunshine and find the people who are going to give you that sunshine. And, you know, like I'm reminded of, you know, what a crappy mother I was. And, you know, I'm not saying I was a bad mum. I just had no tolerance.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've watched my daughter gravitate towards different people as well as we've both become healthier. Like, it's been nuts, the impact.
Has it had an impact on your daughter?
Oh, I can't even tell you. Like, because I'm calmer, she's calmer. And, you know, she's 16 and a half, right? So hormones, I'm menopausal. So I'm like, you know, so between us, my gosh, my ability to cope and see the pause in things has been a direct reflection into the way she deals with stuff.
Yeah.
Because I have the space to think and go, okay, well, hang on a minute. You're having a little flip out. Let's just look at how this, like, is it fact? Is it fiction? How is that? But because we've both got the brain space, our communication is better. It's bloody terrific. So good.
Yeah. So it's like be the change you want to see in the world. You know, you're a leading example of what they're going to model and who they're going to become. I see it as my kids are growing up a bit more, and I think it becomes a bit obvious what you have demonstrated as they do grow up, you know, and you know, the patterns of what I did and how they're modeling that in their own values and beliefs and things like that. So this is wonderful. So where can people get your book?
So you could probably jump from this. I'll get tagged, I suppose. You can jump on over to my Facebook page. You could follow me on TikTok. I'm the Lazy Keto Mum, on Instagram, TikTok. But if you go to my main profile page, you can just underneath it, there's a link called the F word, and you'll be able to click on that. It'll take you straight there. It's cheaper. Don't get it from me, by the way, just saying. And I've got some I can sign for you for now.
I know.
But also just give you the address. You can jump on over to tiny.1/the F word book.
Nice. I love it. I'm sure Lindy's going to type all that up as we're on this live, and then she can send them across. And of course, your book is also available on all your amazing online reselling stores like your Amazon and Barnes and Noble. But if you get it from Emma, she will sign it for you. I know she'll make it super personal. She's just got her bulk print a couple of weeks ago, and she's been posting things away. She's been out to markets apparently, and there's the book. Yeah, show us the book in screen.
I'm so happy with it. Like, it's a real book.
It is a real book, and I love your energy, enthusiasm around the topic, and how much you believe in this, because the key to I guess building a tribe behind this and be able to help more people is for you to, like, you know, be sold on it 1,000%, and to just so believe in it that other people go, oh my God, I need to believe in this because she's just so passionate about it. And that's what I love about you. And I think your future is going to be massive and huge. Because one of the comments that I always get around writing books and how I come across of how everyone should write a book and blah, 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 you know, why it can be easy. And, you know, if you got the right formula, that's, you know, that's what people often will say. They'll comment, your energy and enthusiasm is infectious. And I would say the same thing about you. And that's the stuff that's going to help you and enable you to spread the ripple effect through the people that you're helping. You know, I know before too long, you're going to be ringing me and saying, there's too many people, I don't have enough time, you know, and all that kind of stuff, which is a good problem to have, but you'll solve it with different solutions and ability to help others.
I really hope so, because, you know, that flip of, okay, I'm fixing me.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help so many people get off that stupid roller coaster. Like, and we're all on it, right? Well, not all of us. There's a few of us, you know, that have managed to escape that. But in general, people are just stuck on this crazy coaster. And if I can even help 10 people change their lives and the lives of their families, because it is possible. Like, it's I've seen it happen in so many people. So yeah, it's, you know, if we can shed the light and help people read books and get healthy, and what's not to love?
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Emma. I really appreciate your time this morning. I can see there Lindy has posted some links and lots of great interview, just thank yous and lots of great tips and stuff like that. So connect with Emma Martin. It's just spelt the normal way, no funky spelling. So you can look her up on all her social. She's actually a hoot to watch on social media and her TikToks and all that. And she shares lots of awesome, valuable tips. So I also commend you on that particular, how you're, putting in the time, the effort and all that kind of stuff. And it's been an absolute pleasure helping you. Thank you so much. And let's go smash out another week.
Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you so much.
See you, gorgeous. Bye. I'll see you soon. Maybe face to face here on the Gold Coast. See you soon.